Ravensburger announced last week that Disney Lorcana's 6th set, titled Azurite Sea, would be launching this November. If you'd like to see all my thoughts on the latest set, as well as my first impressions of all the revealed cards, you can take a look at last week's video linked in this card and in the description below. Since then, we've had 5 more cards revealed, 4 of which are brand new, and 1 of which we already sort of knew about, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it on the channel yet, so we'll be taking a look at that as well. Before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to please like this video and subscribe to the Sorcerer's Hat for more Disney Lorcana content. I post brand new videos every Friday. And before we get going, again, I'd like to thank everyone who has supported the channel in the last week. The subscriber numbers literally doubled in the last 7 days, and it was amazing, so thank you so much. Alright, let's get the card we already know about out of the way. So this is Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. He is an uninkable 2-cost Sapphire character card with 2 strength, 1 willpower, and he quests for 2. He has 1 ability, Favorable Chance. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an item card, you may play that item for free and it enters play exerted. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck. As some of you may remember, Oswald was revealed as part of the D23 set this year. However, this version is actually slightly different from the one in the D23 set. As of this reveal, we now know that Oswald's rarity is legendary. There's also a slight tweak to the rules text of the card. If you can't tell, the phrase "it enters play" used to read "they enter play" on the D23 version. It doesn't change the effect of the card at all, it's just interesting since it may point to Oswald having done something totally different at one time during development, or it's just a minor error on Ravensburger's part. Anyway, I think this is actually a pretty cool card. While his stats are very low, he does have the ability to cheat some high-level items out of your deck very early on in the game. His only issue is that it's really easy to whiff with this card, since it doesn't dig for an item, it only looks at the top card of your deck. However, if you play him on a later turn when you already have a good amount of ink, you can probably dig through at least 2 or 3 cards off the top of your deck until you hit an item. He's very similar to the Queen Diviner, which is also a really interesting card that's starting to crop up in some Ruby Sapphire lists. What I like about the Queen more is that she's a bit stronger, but also gets to dig through the top 3 cards of your deck instead of just looking at the very first one. However, she can only play items of cost 3 or less for free. But honestly, most of the items you'll probably be playing outside of Lucky Dime are at or below 3 cost, so that's not that big of a deal. Oswald is cool, and like I've said on this channel before, I'm always game for more toon cards, but I think he'll warrant some testing. My first impressions of him though are good. I like this card a lot and the art is phenomenal. Next we've got an interesting pirate card. This is Wendy Darling, Courageous Captain. She is an uninkable 2-cost ruby character card with 1 strength, 2 willpower. She has evasive and she quests for 1. She also has 1 ability, Look Lively Crew. While you have another pirate character in play, this character gets +1 strength and +1 lore. Obviously this goes really well in a pirate's deck. In those specific decks, I think this card is pretty good. In draft it will probably be alright since you're most likely going to have quite a few pirates anyway, just because of the nature of the set. But yeah, this doesn't really see play anywhere else, I'm afraid, but you know, if pirates ever get good, this could probably see some play. Next is Rafiki, Ethereal Guide. He is an uninkable 9-cost amethyst character card with 6 strength, 6 willpower, and he quests for 4. He has Shift 7 and 1 ability, Astral Attunement. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may draw a card. I've seen a lot of people talking about this as a card for Blurple, but in my opinion, Blurple doesn't really have a problem drawing cards. On top of that, this card is very expensive, even with the shift. Yes, if you play it in Blurple, you can ramp to it, but wouldn't you rather ramp to something else? Blurple's biggest problem is not having good enough removal, and this card does not really solve that. Amethyst is already really good at drawing cards, and the only situation I could see this being okay in is if you were making some sort of Blurple items build using Lucky Dime. Then I think this card would actually be okay. I'm open to having my mind changed, but I can't say I'm a fan of this card. Next are two new Zootopia cards, and the first one is Nick Wilde, Soggy Fox. He is an inkable, 1-cost Sapphire character card with 1 strength, 2 willpower, and he quests for 1. He has 1 ability, Nice to Have a Partner. While you have another character with support in play, this character gains +2 strength. I don't really like this card, but it is some okay support for the Alice Growing Girl deck that has yet to materialize. Also, his ability isn't very strong. It's a lot of work to get almost no payoff, so I think there are just better 1-drops that you could be playing on turn 1, so yeah, I'm not a fan. Next is our last card. It is Judy Hop's Resourceful Rabbit. She is an inkable 6-cost Amber character card with 3 strength, 6 willpower, and she quests for 2 lore. She has support and 1 ability, Need Some Help. At the end of your turn, you may ready another chosen character of yours. I don't mind this card. It quests for a decent amount. It's unfortunate that it only has 3 strength, so it is vulnerable to Madam Mim. But the ability almost feels like Bodyguard in reverse. It could be a good way to quest with a character and then protect them by readying them right at the end of the turn. My only concern is, where does this really go? I guess you could put it into like a Mufasa list, which is very character heavy. But yeah, I don't really know where this goes, but overall I would say I like it, and it actually might be pretty good in draft. Oh, just kidding. In the middle of editing this video, they decided to drop 1 more card. So this is Chippendale, Recovery Rangers. It is an uninkable 8-cost Amber character card with 6 strength, 6 willpower, and they quest for 3. They have Shift 5 and 1 ability, Search and Rescue. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may return a character card from your discard to your hand. My first thought was to put this in something like Mufasa, since you play so many characters and getting them back would be pretty nice, but you most likely don't want to be bringing tons of characters back if you're going to also be running that one of Chernabog. And Mufasa decks are now running Wreck-It Ralph to get characters back anyway, so I don't know, this could warrant some testing in a deck like that, or in maybe some Amber Sapphire deck that people haven't quite figured out yet. But I can't say I'm super hyped about this. Although potentially playing this on turn 5 with a shift could be pretty strong. I wouldn't play this in draft though, because it's uninkable and the cost is just way too high without a good shift target. That's it for Azurite Sea spoilers this week. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the Sorcerer's Hat for more Lorcana videos. I post a new video every single Friday. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye. Love you.